I'm early. I'm 1 minute early this week. I'm really impressed with myself. I'm never early for anything. All right. I'm gonna play while people join. There's somebody here. Hello, somebody. I've been here before. I know the roads we walk. I feel in my bones. This is our last good talk. Not so long. I wish I could take you home. But here we are again. It's love. Hey Craig, has anybody called? Getting a dog, feeling a sense of hope. Walking the fog, wearing a big fur coat. Sensing the cold, and feeling this flag unfold. Hey, Ken and Tina. Here we are again, it's love. Has anybody called? While I was away, dear, I fear I'd miss sweet words you'd say. I'm feeling like a whisper. I never knew he'd miss her. I never knew he'd stay. Nights alone, I wish I could take you home. Oh, here we are again, it's love. Has anybody called? While I was away, dear, I fear I'd miss sweet words you'd say. I'm feeling like a whisper. I never knew he'd miss her. I never knew he'd stay. I'm glad you guys dig that as an opener. Yeah, I haven't played that one very much lately. I think mostly because I have become so focused on writing songs that have very clear messaging, like in country music. And that one, I was just, as I was playing it, trying to think of like, what in the heck? What is this song about? Like, I know why I wrote it. Keith, hello. And I know what I was feeling when I wrote it. I had just gone through a breakup, and I had just bought my house. And I was sitting in this house. Now, the house was my grandparents' house. You'd think that, like, although it's old, it would feel really homey and cozy, which is what I anticipated. But the day we closed on it, I was like, I'm sleeping in my house tonight. And it was empty. There was just nothing in the building. And I had an air mattress on the floor. And I was, like, sitting there. Oh, Craig, yes, I will talk about the lamb. So yeah, I was just sitting there on the mattress in this house, and it was built in 1880, and I somehow never noticed that when the heat's on the radiators, it sounds like ghosts rattling chains or something. So I was just in this house all by myself, and although I was really proud that I bought myself a house, it was just such a oh, Ken, I'm glad you like it. And it was just such a heavy feeling of, wow, I am alone here. I don't know if anyone's ever had that experience before. I think I had just never really been alone in my life. So I was sitting there, and it's strange because nobody else was there, but it felt weird to make noise in this empty building, you know? So anyway, that's what the song started at. It was just this lonely feeling, and it was just ruminating on feeling alone, I guess. And like, how do you rebuild a life? You know, that's what the like getting a dog and feeling a sense of hope line means. Because like, I feel like if I was completely alone at this juncture in my life, that's what I would do. I would go get a dog. Anyway, that's enough chatter about nothing. I'm so happy to be here tonight. So Craig asked if I got myself a baby lamb. I don't know if you saw this. I posted it on my Grace Morrison Music Facebook page, but this in my memories popped up this picture of me holding this baby goat, and like the look on my face is like I needed the goat. Anyway, I shared it because like I truly think that was the moment when I was like, I need a baby now. It was so weird. Like, I think women get to a certain point in life and you just like want something cuddly to hold. So I started with like I had held that baby goat and it like made me want to hold a baby thing. And then I remember thinking to myself, I know, I'll just get a puppy. I'll just get a cute little puppy like a Yorkshire Terrier. And then I won't need the baby. I will just have this lap dog and that will help that need. And then went to a local humane society. And the dog it came home with was not a little tiny lap dog. She looks like Santa's little helper from The Simpsons. She's like part greyhound. I don't know. She's huge. And that's how I wound up with a baby. So if you played my caption this photo game on my Facebook, which you still can go participate in, the correct caption would probably be, I need a baby now. So anyway, Ken, I'm glad you liked my behind the scenes there. So yeah, I'm here. My friend Abby was supposed to join me tonight, but she had a really exciting concert offer, so she's not able to be here tonight. So it's just me again, hanging out. If you have song requests, you just put them in the comments and I'll play them if I know them. I'd be really, really thrilled to. Craig gave me so many great requests last week and made my whole day. Let's see. What do I want to play for you now? What do I feel in my soul? I'm going to try. I haven't done this song in a while. Let's see how it comes out. Anybody start their spring planting yet? A few years back, Ken, yes, you were stuck with me for the whole 90 minutes, just me. A few years back, my brother built me a raised garden bed because I wanted to grow vegetables. And the first year, it was great. Like, I planted cucumbers and they all came up, but then you have to thin them. And I had a really hard, like thinning them means you have these healthy plants and you have to kill some of them so that the other healthy ones can thrive. And I couldn't bring myself to do it because I just couldn't kill the healthy cucumbers. Anyway, the garden bed didn't do well because you have to thin them. So I'm trying again. Maybe I'll do like you can all laugh at my lack of gardening skills too. Keith says all dogs can be lap dogs. Some just fit on 4 laps. Yeah, that's about what my honey dog is. She needs 4 laps. Yes. Oh, Mark, you've moved to Florida. I want to one more thing and then I'll sing another song. But in 2020, I had booked an entire tour of Florida. I was going to be there for a week. So maybe what I need to do is like rebook that Florida tour. I haven't been to Florida in a long time. Oh, Ken, you planted peppers. Melissa, I'm so glad that I'm not the only one who can't kill things. It's just like, I'll take it back. So Melissa said that she can't kill plants or weeds either. And I feel you with one exception. And that is a weed. I don't even know if you call it a weed. It's a parasitic plant thing called dodder. And I think everybody go Google it. It's like DODDER. And it only impacts, it's like a cranberry bog thing. So look that up. And then we'll rendezvous back after the next song. And I will tell you about my dodder experience. Mark, yes, I know there's so many amazing venues in Florida and house concerts. And I'm really excited to get myself back on down there. I think the last time I was in Florida, actually, I had gone for Thanksgiving and I got lost and in like a weird, like scary place especially for somebody who watches too many murder mysteries. Okay, this is a song that it's going to be coming out this year as a single, and I wrote it. If you tune in every week, you probably already know this, but I wrote this about my sleep neuroses. Paul! That's funny. Hold on. Paul's wondering if I have a suntan. I don't tan. Don't tan. I burn, but I wear sunscreen every day, even in the winter. So no, this is just, I don't know, the lighting down here, maybe. No tan on this face. Okay, this, Mark, you can definitely be my security. Wait, hold on. Keith is saying he cannot do any gardening because the ground is still frozen. Keith, remind me where you live. I think I know, but I don't want to be wrong. Okay, this is a song for anybody who has trouble sleeping. This is for you. I haven't slept in days. I can't escape my mind. When the sun gets low, that's when I know it's gonna be a night. Racing thoughts abide. I can't close my eyes. But when the sun goes down, I hit the ground and say it's gonna be a night. When it rains, I look to the water. Please don't leave me now. I lay and wait for the thunder to pull me down, pull me down, yeah. Waking sleep is this. I barely exist. But when the sun gets high, that's my time to live a little bit. You think I see you. I pretend it's true. But when the sun gets high, that's when it's time to do what we're living through. When it rains, I look to the water, wash my thoughts away. I lay and wait for the thunder and better days, better days, yeah. Give me tincture, give me oil. I've not already tried. Give me drink that will not spoil. Something's broken inside. I haven't slept for days. I can't escape my mind. But when the sun gets low, that's when I know it's gonna be a night. Yeah, when the sun gets low, that's when I know it's gonna be a night. Tia, hello. I'm so glad to see your name pop up. So, Keith, you're from Minnesota. Have I already told you that Minnesota is the setting for my favorite cozy murder mystery series? This is, I guess, me admitting that I'm an old lady at heart. My favorite thing on a Friday night if I lived alone, what I would do is I would cuddle with my cats. And I would read a few chapters of my cozy murder mystery that includes baking recipes. And then I'd probably watch a couple episodes of either Matlock or Law and Order. My sister-in-law one time, stop me. You just stop me if I've told this story. But I went to see the new Agatha Christie movie. There are a lot of folks who are unhappy about the casting in that, and I don't really want to get into that debate. But anyway, I loved the movie. And then afterward, I Googled other people's reviews of the movie. Murder on the Nile, it was called. And one of the reviews said, this film is great for elderly fans of Agatha Christie. And I thought to myself, wow, if they didn't just sum me up in a couple of words. And I just thought it was so funny. And so then I went to pick up my son because he was with my sister-in-law, and she said, you know, I often wonder and never remember to ask you, what century do you think you should have been born in? I'm just like, oh man, you know me. It wasn't this century, that's for sure. Anyway, I digress. YouTube, is that? I see a user on there that says YouTube violated me, and I'm wondering if that is Tim or if that is a bot. Is that a real person? I don't want YouTube to violate anybody, but I'm glad you're here if you're a real person. Okay, you know, I brought up my son. Maybe I'll share a song that I wrote for him. I hate to ask for money and purchases and stuff like that, but I am in the process of recording a new record, and so if you like what I do, or you just like me and you don't like what I do, you can contribute to the virtual tip jar here, and it makes a huge difference. Anything that comes in is going right into the new record. Keith says never Google movie reviews. I do the movie review after I've seen and assessed for myself, just to see if other people feel the same way I do. They rarely do. And if you wanted to be a more consistent patron, if you will, I've got a link up above to my Patreon account. It's an amazing way to support artists that you love and give them steady income so that we can spend our time creating things. Okay, so this song, any parents out there, I'm sure will appreciate what I'm gonna talk about. Ken says that the virtual tip jar is admission for the show. Oh, Melissa, no, you didn't miss the Daughter story. I was being an airhead, so here I am to tell you about Daughter. Okay, so gardeners will appreciate this. So Daughter is this parasitic thing that really attacks cranberry bogs, and it's like it makes no chlorophyll of its own, and it kind of from a distance looks like spaghetti, like angel hair pasta, and it like wraps around every stem of your plant with these little suckers like an octopus, and it sucks the chlorophyll out of your plant. And once you get Daughter in your garden, it's there for years. The only way to eliminate it is to completely gut the plants that have the Daughter on them, like completely gone. Or you can do what I did. Yes, it's a jerk plant. What I did was I sat there for hours upon hours for like 5 days in a row. It was on my bee balm. And bee balm is a plant that like it spreads. It was a huge plant that I really loved. And so I just sat there like unwrapping these awful octopus plant things from every stem of my bee balm. And you can do that, but then you still have to like cross your fingers that it didn't seed and that you didn't miss any, because if you miss any, it's like years and you can't get rid of it. The funny part of this is, so I didn't know what Daughter was. And when I first started dating my husband, who's the cranberry farmer, this is going to show you what a jerk I am. I went into his house, and on the front porch was this like canister, almost like a chemical canister, and it had DODDER on it. And I thought to myself, does somebody not know how to spell the word daughter? Like son and daughter? Like, what am I doing here? He can't spell daughter? That was my gut reaction, because I had never heard of Daughter before. So anyway, all that to say, it's risky being a gardener if you live next to cranberry bogs. That was my long tale that maybe was only interesting to a couple of people. But there you go. Daughter. I'm pretty sure on my Instagram I took a picture of my bee balm when it was like fully infested with the octopus plant. That's what I should call it, the octopus plant. If I write a children's album, I'm going to write a song about that. Speaking of children, so I just remember when my son was first born, like, I think maybe most new parents have no idea what they're getting into. I had no clue. Like, night number 1, you don't sleep, and then you just never sleep again. And I just remember feeling like in the early stages, it's like a day when you can brush your teeth in the morning and night feels like a huge success. And I still don't really feel like I've overcome this completely, but it's just like, you just, like, functioning is so hard because you're not sleeping and you have this baby that needs you all the time. And it's just, it changes everything about you. And so I just, I was in the midst of all that. I think maybe my son was 4 months old and I hadn't written anything for a while. And I just forced myself to sit with the guitar because I didn't really feel like I could write anything, but I just thought, I'd give it a whirl to try to feel like myself again. And this song came out. I'm going to give myself some reverb again. He looks up and I'm weary. It's enough to break me. The eyes that I color, the fingers I'm counting, they think that I smother, the pressure is mounting. Hard as the others, they say that it is. No glory or greater mountain to miss than this. How could I know that I would fall? Victim of the sharpest arrow of all. Just a stroke of his hand, and I fall through quicksand. I'm a mess and it's deeper than ever before. Oh, arms that are always begging for more. I've read all the good books and scholarly papers about what makes a good wife, mother, caretaker. I put them all down every time he calls. He carries the sharpest arrow of all. What makes me move? What makes me whole? What makes me grasp for anything to hold? It's this love. He just wants to please me. He don't know it's so easy. I count all the moments till I see his eyes. I can't help it, there is no sufficient disguise. I walked in for every inch of my soul, grasping in moments that I couldn't hold. Everything I give it freely. I hope when he's older that he still sees me. I long for his soft touch again and again. Someday when he's older, will he be my friend? How could I know that I would fall? Apostle of the sharpest arrow of all. I just stopped myself from the tic I developed live streaming, which many of you know, it's the giggle after every song. I just didn't do it. I didn't do the giggle. I'm so proud of myself. Okay, here I am. So, important question for you all. So, I have 2 songwriting competitions coming up in May. And I'm wondering if anyone has a favorite, the options being that song and the one I did before, It's Gonna Be a Night, the one about not being able to sleep. Do you prefer one over the other? In the first competition, I know in round 1, you do 2 songs, and I know what I'll do for round 1. And then if you make the top half, so if you're one of the top 7, I think you get another song. And so I'm just trying to plan in my head, if I happen to be lucky enough and get to that second round, which one would I do? Would I do that song for my son or the I Can't Sleep song? Please help me. It's such a stressful decision to make. But I am excited to go on that trip. I wonder if anybody else struggles with this. Like I think I was a nervous traveler before COVID, and now it's just like every time I have to really psych myself up to go. And I'm having a little bit of a hard time with this first one because I'm going to be gone on Mother's Day. And although my son is 3 and doesn't really know anything about Mother's Day, like I know. Oh, Melissa and Maggie, thank you. And Ken, thank you for your input. It's super helpful to know what resonates with people. Oh, and I should tell you all that last song is coming out as a single. The first Friday in May, May 6th, that song is coming out. And it's going to be promoted on folk radio. I don't know if anyone listens to folk radio. So yeah, just in time for Mother's Day, that one's coming out. So my husband is a delight, and I was a little emotional. I was like, I'm not going to be with my son on Mother's Day, and then I'm only going to be home for 2 days, and then I'm going on another trip, and I just feel like the worst mother. And do you know what he did to make me feel better? He re-lyriced Cats in the Cradle to be about a mom that abandons her child instead of a dad. And I just thought to myself, that is a cruel dagger to stick in my mama heart. He thought it was funny. Oh, Maggie, I love when you're here from my lives on Monday, too. My goodness gracious, what am I going to sing for y'all next? Any requests? I'll take your requests. And if nobody has one, then I'm gonna go ahead and do this one that I have my sights set on. Clock strikes upon the hour, and the sun begins to fade. There's still enough time to figure out how to chase my blues away. I've been alright up to now. It's the light of day that shows me how. When the night falls, my lonely heart calls. I wanna dance with somebody. I wanna feel the heat with somebody. Yeah, I wanna dance with somebody. With somebody who loves me. I've been in love and lost my senses, running through the town. Sooner or later the fever ends, and I wind up feeling down. I need a man who'll take a chance on a love that burns hot enough to last. When the night falls, my lonely heart calls. I wanna dance with somebody. I wanna feel the heat with somebody. Yeah, I wanna dance with somebody. With somebody who loves me. Somebody who loves me. Somebody who will take me in his arms. Oh, I need a man who'll take a chance on a love that burns hot enough to last. Keith, I'm glad you feel my pain with the cats in the cradle story. My husband does that to me all the time. Like, there's this Kathy Mattea song, I think it's Kathy Mattea, called Where Have You Been? And it's also like a day. It's like about an elderly couple, you know, it's like their love story, and then it ends with them, like the wife has Alzheimer's, and Anyway, if you're an easy crier, don't listen to that song. It puts me out of commission for days. Oh my gosh, greetings from Alamogordo. Hello. Oh, I'm so glad to see you. So I'm going to do the 2 songs I intend to do for round 1 of my upcoming songwriting competition. And one of them, like, you know, part of the judging criteria is how you interact with your audience. Ken, hi. That's right. Eat your heart out, Donna Summer. So this song, they judge you on how you interact with your audience. And so many of my songs, I have funny things to say that I have like worked on over time in live concerts, and haven't had tons of live concerts to work these out on. So I don't have a good like one-liner zinger to introduce this song, which is like a nervous thing for me because I always like to introduce a song by making the audience laugh somehow. So here I am. I'm practicing on you all. But the truth is, the house that my grandfather grew up in has been essentially abandoned since like 1956. And I drive by it every day. And, for a long time I would drive by and just like long to go inside and peek around and just like see where my grandfather grew up and like be amongst like the spirits of my ancestors, whatever. And then one day I drove by and lo and behold, some criminal had broken in, and I was just like, you know what, I need to go make sure everything's safe inside. And so I went in and saw that like my great grandmother was a pianist for silent movies, and her piano was there, and could still be played. And it was thinking about how like things were built to last back then. Like everything was sturdy, and you get one of them, so it has to last. But people were kind of expected to be sturdy as well. It was a time when you didn't talk about your feelings. And so it's just an interesting contrast to me because on the one hand, like the stuff was sturdy and built to last. It did last, right? Like so many antiques could still function today. But people, when you don't allow them to be broken, I've found strength in being broken, or like admitting when I'm weak or having a hard time. And that was the jumping off point for this song. Also, did that seem like a little too obnoxious of an intro? Please help me. So this one's going to be on my new record. Melissa, thank you so much for your help. This is being produced by Walt Wilkins, and I'm so pumped for everybody to hear it. My great-grandma's chair's still standing, dusty thing but proud. Her piano's strings still singing, out of tune but loud. 100 years of living, and it still wants more. Baby, modern hearts aren't meant to last. We just hold on till we're past the pain it brings, and we're all just broken things. Ooh. That's my grandpa's old jalopy. You still can't turn it on. the door and down the road. Can't stop us once we're gone. 100 years to live in, and it still wants more. Maybe modern hearts aren't meant to last. We just hold on till we're past the pain it brings. Yeah, we're all just broken things. Thought I was tough wearing an old punk rock t-shirt. Thought I was tough till I knew what it meant to hurt. My granddad stood there stoic as a wall. I wonder if he felt pain at all. Well, of course he did. He was just a little kid back when we don't talk about it. This old house has seen its share of hearts broke on the floor. It will be here after I'm gone, opening its doors. Maybe modern hearts aren't meant to last. We just hold on till we're past the pain it brings. Yeah, we're all just broken things. Heather, I'm so happy to see your name pop up. I was just talking about you the other day. How are you? Can you all hear my dogs barking upstairs? So I mentioned earlier that when I first was like, thank you, Keith. When I first was like, I need a baby. And my instinct was, let's just get a dog first. So and I told you how big the dog was and it didn't help with the baby thing. We already had a Saint Bernard Mastiff mix. So we just have the most ridiculously large dogs here. Chris, hello. I'm so happy to see your name pop up. Oh, and I'm just so happy everyone's hanging out with me tonight. This is such fun, especially like my whole day started with being in customer service with my mortgage lender for like 3 hours. And I don't know about you all, but like I can start a customer service experience pretty patient, but I lose my patience. And I kept having to like tell the customer service person, like, I'm not mad at you, but this is a recorded phone call, and I need this mortgage company to understand how awful their online banking system is. Anyway, all that to say that this is a much better end to my day than the beginning was. It was a tough start. I have a question for anybody. Does anybody do a solo traveling? So I mentioned earlier that like I hadn't really ever been alone before until I bought my house. And I haven't really, like, since I got married, I haven't really been alone at all, except for one trip I took. Does anybody have any thoughts or like things that they do to help them feel less lonely when traveling by themselves? So I'm going to Wright for a week. And then I'm going to Austin, where I won't really be alone, but like the traveling part I will. I don't know, maybe it's just, it's like hard to leave your family too. But I'd love any thoughts that anybody has about how they get themselves through lonely times of solo travel. I haven't watched Bridgerton season 2, so I'm hoping that that will help me. And I have another Bridgerton book, so maybe I can look forward to that. True, and Melissa, yes. Melissa makes a point because anytime... So I was super anxious when I went to Missouri by myself. And you're so right. Like, I got on the plane and I was sitting next to another solo traveler and we had a lovely conversation and made the trip actually feel fun. And I think, as with most things that we worry about or things that cause anxiety, I think the worst part is the worry, right? Like, it's all just fear of the unknown. And once you get there, you're just like, oh, I was actually anxious about nothing. This is nothing. So it's a good reminder to myself. All right, I'm gonna do this number that wasn't on my set list. All right, so this is the other newbie. This is the other one I'm gonna do in round 1 of Songwriter Serenade, I think, and it's the one that that kind of was the jumping off point for my new record. I had sent some songs to Walt Wilkins, and this one is so different, I think, from my other stuff that I was like, oh, I'll just put this on the list. He's not going to want that one, but what the heck, I'll just put it on the list. And of course, that's the one he's like, nope, that one. He's like, other ones may come and go, but we are doing that one. And it was, I don't know, it's just such a cool, like to have such a well-respected songwriter dig something that you've created is a cool feeling. This one I wrote about trying to let go emotionally of my childhood home. Because for a long time I was spending my work hours thinking, you know what, I'm going to save all my money and I'm going to buy my parents their house back. And turns out you can't go back in time. The time machine doesn't exist. And it didn't exist for a reason, because going backwards, it's not good for us. What did time do? I don't see you anymore, but I have the scars to tell the stories of our youth. We ran the world, our glory days were yet to come. We could be anything, we could be better than where we came from. But I was so scared of leaving when the time had come. Like my granddad sitting on the same porch like he'd always done. Hometown son, down the winding road I used to know. But I'm standing here alone, you can never go home again. You can only see the ghost of it. The church where we learned the love the Savior brings. Well, I never felt believing was in my blood. And here is the school where we learned the brutal things. People love you one day and then they go away. It don't matter how your heart sings. But I was so scared of leaving when the time had come. Like my granddad sitting on the same porch like he'd always done. Hometown son, down the winding road I used to know. But I'm standing here alone, you can never go ghost used to make my escape. There are voices inside, and I wanna die, 'cause I don't see one familiar face. You can never go home again. You can never go home again. You can only see the ghost of it. Ooh. Melissa, thank you. And other Melissa, thank you. Yeah, it's so funny, as an artist, I think we get into these comfort zones, or your style, if you will. And so, whenever I write a song that doesn't quite fit in with the other stuff, I'm like, this must be trash, but I'm trying might be dramatic, but I'm trying to try different things and push my comfort zone. And I'm finding that, I'm not always the best judge of the songs that relate to other people. Oh, Michael, I'm so glad you're here. Do not be sorry for being late. Okay, Keith, thank you. Yeah, I think, and then, it's the order. I don't know that it matters much, but I think that I'll do that song first. That's my plan anyway. Anybody here from the North Carolina area? That's a big area. Anybody from the Asheville, North Carolina area? Anybody? I've never been there before, but I'm going in May. That's where I'm headed. This is me killing time while I tune my guitar. So, my son is 3. Many of you already know this. And my dad passed away in 2016. Okay, and my dad was not a poetic or eloquent man. Those were not things that I would say have or him. Like, I don't know if this is in poor taste, but I'm going to share you an example of what my dad was like. So, at the end of his life, he was upset because of something. He was in a nursing home. And I said, "How are you today, Dad?" And he said, "Not good. Let's write a song about it." And it was like, I got a hole in my balls. It's a pain in the ass if they fall on the floor. It's like walking on glass. The doctor comes in with a pen, tries to write me a script. If he don't get the F out, he's gonna have a fat lip. I got the blue ball blues. If you didn't know, then I'll give you the news. I got the blue ball blues. Okay, now I know that's a little crass, but that's the last song my dad and I sang together. We wrote, that was a co-write there. That's my dad. And so my son lately has been really interested in like things dying. I know that's so macabre. It's a lie to say I don't really know where he got that from, because he's been watching Moon Knight, the new Marvel series. Michael, are you saying that you're from northern Canada? Is that what you're saying? Or are you saying ouch to my dad's Blue Ball song? So anyway, he's, as a result, I think, of watching these superhero shows, my son's like, I want to pow things. Did they die? But, he doesn't know what dying is. He thinks that means that you lay on the floor and then you get back up. And so last night he was saying to me, what was he was saying, I'm trying to think of how it started because it was so sweet. He goes, Papa is Daddy's dad, and I love him. And Nana is Daddy's mom, and I love her. And Dinda is your mom, and I love her. Who's your dad? I was like, oh, well, my daddy's in heaven. And he goes, did he die? And I said, yes, honey, my daddy died. He's in heaven. He goes, I will go to his house, and I will make him feel better. And I just melted. Oh my gosh. Because, you just you want so badly for your children to know your parents the way you did, and that's, as much as I will try, sing that Blue Ball song, I'll never quite capture the full essence of my dad for my son. I could share with you all someday the boob cake I made for my dad, but now we're just going to get really crass. So anyway, when my dad died, many of you already know the last thing that he said to me, but it was like, in case you don't, he had been comatose for a while. And when your loved one is in a coma and going to die, you just sit there and wait. And I was sitting there and I was waiting there and I was weeping there. And he had been in a coma for quite a while, at least a week. And I don't know if I was crying extra loud at this moment or not, but all of a sudden he turned and he opened his eyes and looked at me and said, "Cut the shit." And that was the last thing my dad ever said to me. And I kind of love it. I don't kind of love it. I do love it, because the last thing my dad said to me was so very much him, and that's a way that my son will always really, I'm crying, will always know who his grandfather really was. His grandfather just told it as he saw it. And also it's going to make great merch someday. I'm going to put that on a shirt. But anyway, I wanted to write this song for my dad, and I wrote it. And initially, the hook of it is, "May God bless you and send you an angel." And this song, honestly, when I was writing it, felt like somebody else was writing it, and it was just coming through, and I was putting the words down, like being channeled into my brain. So initially, I thought that it was meaning like that my dad just wanted me to find like a partner to love me. But I found out shortly afterward that I was actually pregnant at the time, and realized, like, I had this thought. I'm like, oh my gosh, no, this was like my dad channeling this message to me. Like, the angel he was hoping would be sent to me is actually my son. I don't know if that's too foofy for all of you. But for all that my dad wasn't foofy, I make up for it in spades. The tuning's bothering me here. So last week, I don't know if you noticed, my guitar was super out of tune. And I had just changed my strings and stretched them as I always do, but the B string would not stay in tune last week. And so then after the live stream, I was so frustrated, and I went to tune it, and it broke. I think I just had a faulty B string or something. It was a bad batch last week. I'm just telling you that so you don't think I don't know how to tune my guitar. I do. Okay, here I go. This is called Throwing Stones. Oh, by the way, Ken's gonna laugh at me. I'm such a bad salesperson. Not salesperson, but promoter of myself. I'm trying to fund a new record. So if you dig what I do, you can throw a tip in the virtual tip jar. I put a clickable link above. Or you can become a patron, which is just a wonderful way to give your favorite artists some reliable income so that they can spend their time creating. Or you can join the mailing list. That's great too. May God bless you and send you an angel. I'll be looking down from my home. Remember, I always loved you. When the world quits playing ball and starts throwing stones. It's a long, long way to Tipperary. I see setting suns and you see the dawn. Sometimes I look through your windows till I see the lights start turning on. May God bless you and send you an angel. I'll be looking down from my home. Remember, I always loved you. When the world quits playing ball and starts throwing stones. I've walked away from heavy doorways. I've walked away from painful tears. I found my garden in your eyes, love. My hope and peace throughout the years. May God bless you and send you an angel. I'll be looking down from from my home. Remember, I always loved you. When the world quits playing ball and starts throwing stones, I am your constellation. Hold me near. I only hope you know you are my dear. It's a long, long way to Tipperary. I see setting suns and you see the dawn. I found my garden in your eyes, love. Please know my heart ain't gone. May God bless you and send you an angel. I'll be looking down from my home. Remember, I always loved you. When the world quits playing ball and starts throwing stones. When the world quits playing ball and starts throwing stones. When the world quits playing ball and starts throwing stones. I just thought of another funny thing, like advice that my dad gave me. Because, so the line in there, when the world quits playing ball and starts throwing stones, my dad loved to play basketball. And he just had this vision of me being an athlete, which is laughable when you know that I broke my leg walking. And so, but like in fifth grade, he and I would go outside and play basketball. I did have a good free throw. I did have that. But he would always, he would try to help me stand up for myself through sports. Because kids picked on me because I was overweight and shy and awkward. And I didn't really have very many friends to speak of. And one of the things that people always used to make fun of is my tiny feet. Now, I'm a grown woman. My feet are a size 5, which is probably the same size as your favorite first grader. And same thing with my hands. They're itty-bitty little things. Not practical at all. And so I just remember, like, coming home and feeling sad because kids had made fun of my feet. And my dad said, well, you should tell those kids you have two matters of recourse. The first one, just say, oh yeah, well, I bet you can't name 3 words in the English language that end with GRY. Now, come on, like what 10-year-old is going to be able to use that for a successful comeback? I mean, he was on the right track. I think it's funny now. So that was the way, number 1, to stand up for myself. And number 2 was to tell them, oh yeah, well, in China, people love small feet. Thanks, Dad. Thank you for that really, really helpful advice. But one thing my dad did do, which is like my favorite anecdote. So my dad would get so mad. He had big ears, and he was bald. And Keith, you are not alone. Many people have broken their legs walking. You're not alone. So my dad had big ears, and he worked for this guy, like it was a subcontractor for this oil company. And every time my dad would go in, the guy would make fun of his ears, either by calling him Dumbo or Big Ears. And my dad wouldn't say a word, not a word. And for a long time, when he wrote the guy the bill, he would just put an extra $15 on it. And this went on for years. He would just tack on $15. And then one day he went in and the guy said, Mike, I got to ask you, like, what is this $15? And my dad goes, oh, that's the insult fee. Genius! Isn't that genius? I wish that I had a way to do that. I mean, nobody really makes fun of me anymore. It's not necessary, but isn't that genius? I just love that little story about my dad. He wasn't taking crap from nobody. Oh, man. Okay, so I think I got a couple more songs in me. If you have a request, I'd love to know. I love playing songs that people request. Makes me happy. And also, I'm in the market for some surprising covered songs. Surprising cover songs. So, for example, I've done Rob Zombie's Dragula, and I've done Coolio's Gangsta's Paradise. And I'm just looking for some more songs that I could do, like Karma Chameleon. I released that as a digital single, and people dig it, and I think are surprised, like don't even realize that it's the same song, maybe. So I would love suggestions from you of like songs that would be interesting to hear an acoustic cover of, because my ideas have fallen short. If it's up to me, it's just going to be Boys to Men covers. So there you have it. What do I feel like playing? You know what? We're talking about people picking on you. And one of the new things that I'm trying to incorporate into my life is that if something doesn't serve you, you don't need it anymore, even if that means relationships. Because not every relationship is a positive influence in our lives. We don't have to keep them all. Paul, oh my gosh, I'm so glad you've been here. I'm going to be singing for the Historical Society this summer too. I hope I get to see you. Because I am someone who has a hard time getting rid of things, and I hold on to everything, and but often to my own detriment. And so this song I wrote, just trying to be a little bit of a reminder that like you don't need to keep everything and everyone in your life if it doesn't make your existence better. Have you ever seen magic? Have you ever been alive? I see it every morning, I feel it every night. Have you ever been low down, pulled up by the scruff? Have you ever got to thinking enough is enough? Oh, hail to the lessons we learn, the lessons we learn, the lessons we learn. Hail to the bridges we burn, when the road no longer serves. Have you ever had a firefight with the sun as she sets? Have you ever got to thinking this is as good as it gets? It's a lesson you should know. You can't cover your tracks, son, when you're walking in the snow. Oh, hail to the lessons we learn, the lessons we learn, the lessons we learn. Hail to the bridges we burn, when the road no longer serves. Sometimes holding on can hold you down. Sing the song till the beat drops out. All of the oceans in all of the world can't wash away the weight on a girl. Hail to the lessons we learn, the lessons we learn, the lessons we learn. Hail to the bridges we burn, when the road no longer serves. Michael, I never... Hold on, the reverb's weird. Reverb's weird when you're talking. Michael, so you were mentioning that you are from South Ontario. I feel like, please correct me if I'm wrong, I feel like there's a lot of, like, a really good independent music scene up there. Am I right or wrong? I think Serena Ryder's from Ontario too. I really like Serena Ryder. And I had 2020, I had Canadian tour dates that are gone that I'm hoping I'm hoping to plan again. And I'd love it, if anybody has any Canadian listening room house concert suggestions, send them my way, because I'm planning my 2023 tour dates as we speak. And you know what? Cool segue moment here. If you were on the East Coast, maybe from like Maine to Virginia, and interested in hosting me for a house concert this fall, or I even have some options in July, shoot me a PM. I have a couple of little weekend trips that I'm trying to round out. And would love to come sing for you, because that's the thing that I do. It's my one thing, my one skill. Can't walk, but I can write songs and sing for people. I'm gonna do, just to cover all the bases, I'm gonna do the other single that I released this year. So the big plan is to release a single every other month this year. So I did one in January called Sober. And then March was Window Watching. And then May is The Sharpest Arrow, the Mother's Day song. But this one, gosh, I haven't touched this in a while, this song, because it's kind of emotional. But my loved one, some of you may have met my loved one when they were on this live stream, is struggling with an eating disorder, which I have to say, I have seen people struggle with drug addiction, and I've seen people struggle with alcohol addiction. Eating disorder is the worst thing I've ever seen. It's the worst. And it's so scary because, the recovery rate is the lowest of all mental illness and addictions. And the recovery rate is the lowest, and it is the deadliest at the same time. And it's just like, for somebody, I know it's so hard for people with alcohol addiction because there's package stores everywhere, and having a drink, going out for a drink with the girls or whatever, it's like such a part of our culture to have a drink. And it's even worse with food, because food is life. And so for somebody struggling with this eating disorder, like, there's no escape from it. And, the body dysmorphia that accompanies it, like, I can't wrap my head around it. And like with any addiction, it doesn't give a fig who you are. And if you are one of the support people that's closest to that person struggling, you got to be really careful, because they will suck you in too, because you just love your person so much and you want to save them, and you can't save them. They have to save themselves. And it's just, it's the worst thing I've ever seen. Kenneth, hello. I'm so glad you're here. I'm sorry you came in right at the moment I'm talking about this super depressing stuff, but I'll do something happy after this. I will. So anyway, I wrote this from a place of straight frustration, because like my person wasn't getting better or wanting to get better, and I just felt so helpless. And I was like, you know what? The one thing that I haven't reminded them is that, hey, you can get better. Like, I spent all this time saying, hey, eat this food, but I never said, hey, you can get better. And I think that that's something that people struggling with addiction need to hear. You can get better. Not saying it will be easy. I think for many people it's the biggest struggle of their lives, but you can do it. And you're worth it. Walking ghost, you lay down slow, too gone to know your bones, they glow. Everybody knows that you are fading, looking at a gravestone, contemplating. One small step and it's all over. I hope you know that you can get sober. Silent sleep, your dreams skin deep, bleeding love, too cold to touch. Everybody knows that you're not ready. I'll hold your hand, baby, slow and steady. One small step and it's all over. I hope you know that you can get sober. Don't want to write it down, the thoughts that steal your crown, 'cause everybody knows that you are fading. Looking at a gravestone, contemplating. One small slip and it's all over. I hope you know that you can get sober. I haven't done my laugh after a song tick in 3 songs, which is a small miracle. Oh my gosh, the Martini Man came in right after I sang a song about addiction.
Yeah,
Oh,
that was
perfect.
good. A real up moment. I came in at an up moment.
Oh, thank you. Cheers.
Yeah, luckily that's not alcoholic, so.
Well, Rose, thank you. Oh man.
Whoops.
It's okay. No, thank you. It's not a mudslide. This is rum chata and chocolate sauce, I guess. It is delicious. Okay. Oh, Ken, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, that song's a tough one. I just think, if you've ever been there, like, as watching a loved one struggle with addiction or, like, been a direct support person, it's just, like, you just have to be so careful because I've found that the vat of patience that I had is empty. And it's like, it's going back to the old put your oxygen mask on before helping others thing, and recognizing, like, when you don't have the emotional bandwidth to help somebody. And emotions, human beings are so complicated, aren't we? Complicated. Hey, I have a funny song I can share with you, actually. I'm going to try a funny one for you. Any Hayes Carll fans out there? Hayes Carll fans. He's a really phenomenal. I wonder if Melissa's still here. Is he an Americana artist or a country artist? I don't know what to call Hayes Carll. But so back up a little bit. I'm from Cape Cod, Mass, and we have the Cape Cod Baseball League here. And if you're a baseball fan, you probably know about the Cape Cod Baseball League. It's wooden bats and, like, the top professional prospects come here and play baseball in the summer. And in fact, it was the subject of a Freddie Prinze Jr. movie in 2003. I think critics did not like that movie, but I did because it had boys in it. And I was the national anthem singer for the Wareham Gatemen team from the Cape Cod Baseball League. And I did it for 4 years. And can you guess why I did it? I did it because I felt like I could just, like, kind of be a part of the team in a way, but, like, also check out boys all summer. That was my main motivation. And so many of those baseball players are from the South, and lots of them from Texas. So I had, like, this thing in my mind that, my eventual partner in life was going to be a baseball player from Texas. And then Hayes Carll, who's from Texas, So Ken saying it's Texas country Americana. So I was right. Hayes Carll came to play in town at the little venue that I got my start at. And I was just like, it was him and Mondo. I don't know how you pronounce Mondo's name. Mondo, Saenz. Sands? Mondo Sands. The two of them were on tour together. And anyway, I went to see them. And then I went home. I even remember what I was wearing, guys. This was when J-Lo was at like the peak of her velour jumpsuit days. And I had a pink velour jumpsuit. Anyway, I went home and I wrote a song called I Lost My Heart in Texas. I feel like it was something like, let me see if I remember it. I lost my heart in Texas. I made an accent when I did it. And though I've never been, I hear the landscape's lovely and it's filled with southern men. I don't remember the rest of it, but I remember that. Anyway, I was just so like enthralled with Hayes Carll. Sands, Mondo Sands, thank you. And Ken knows the Cape Cod Baseball League, see? So anyway, fell in love with Hayes Carll and like all manner of men from Texas. That was my thing. And so then I bought Hayes Carll's CD that night, and my mom and I bonded over one of the songs. And so now whenever I have a local show, my mom's in the audience, maybe not every time, but a lot of the times, I bring my mom up on stage and we sing this song together. You like flowers, and I like liquor. Your way's nice, but my way's quicker. I've been watching you all night long, and I gotta say something. Don't care if it's wrong. I'm feeling outrageous. I hope it's contagious. I wanna spend the night with you. I'm the kind of guy who's slow and lazy, a little bit lost and a little bit crazy. You're the kind of girl who wakes it dawn, walking through the kitchen till the soaps come on. And baby, it's only that I'm feeling lonely and I wanna spend the night with you. Go home and leave the lights on, wear G-strings and see-through tights. We'll make love, we'll have a ball in the kitchen against the wall. I'm feeling funky, I'm drunker than a monkey, and baby, it's only that I'm feeling lonely and I wanna spend the night with you. And so my whole thing with that song, it's just my mom gets really into the verse where it says, we'll go home and leave the lights on, wear G-strings and see-through tights. That's my mom's like, she gets really pumped up there. And I feel like I'm being a great wingman. I mean, my mom is single, and that's a great way for me to introduce her to new people, right? I don't know. Oh, man. Kenneth, have you seen the Freddie Prinze Jr. Cape Cod Baseball League movie? I'm trying to remember what the heck the name of it was. I mean, it was a really bad movie. It was like Boys of Summer or something like that. I wish I could remember. Everyone should go do a deep dive and watch this Freddie Prinze Jr. movie. Okay. So, barring any other requests, I have something in mind for my last song tonight, but I'm gonna have a sip of this martini first. Also, quick question. Do the Kardashians own the media? Because I feel like I didn't even know they had a TV show still on. And I'm just wondering, like, Summer Catch, Ken, good one. Summer Catch is the baseball movie. Like, why is it that I just see the Kardashians everywhere on the news, but they don't even have, like, what do they even do? Why are they everywhere? Does anybody pay attention to, like, what is this Kardashian mumbo jumbo? I don't get it. Again, I'm a little old lady. Okay, so, now I feel like I need to go watch Summer Catch. Or go catch a baseball game this summer. I was going to the Cape Cod Baseball League games back when I thought that a 23-year-old was old. Like, I remember thinking that the guys on the baseball team that were 23 were like, oh, you're grown up. So funny. Okay, here I go. Here I go. Here I go. Do you all know? Anybody? Oh my gosh! Did anybody watch? Yeah, Rose. I agree with you. What do the Kardashians do? Why are they famous? Like, they've got to own some media something that the rest of us are unaware of. I don't get it. Why do we care? Did anybody watch Saturday Night Live this week? I think that's my favorite episode in recent history. I love Lizzo. I love everything she's about. So good. And then my favorite joke of the whole night was Michael Che said something. It was like, I'm going to butcher it, but it was something like, a man hit a woman the other day. Her response, sorry. And I just butchered it. But you have to go watch this joke. It was just so funny and poignant. Did anybody else watch? Really curious. Okay, enough Kardashians. So this song I wrote for myself because I felt like I was being whiny and pathetic in my own brain. Because I was just feeling so sorry for myself after losing the year's worth of touring that I had worked so hard to book. And it was just like ridiculous how the wallowing I was doing. And so I wrote myself this little song. I had been listening to some Jessie Terry. If any Jessie Terry fans here, it kind of inspired the vibe. But anyway, I was just trying to remind myself that, like, we all go through struggles, and we're all gonna be fine. I need reverb. And one more quick little moment to say that I'm so glad you're all hanging out with me tonight. And if you like what I'm doing, please consider donating to the tip jar, all of which is going to fund my new record. And if you don't want to do that, you could become a patron, which gives your favorite artists consistent, reliable income. Super duper helpful. And if you don't want to do that, you could always sign up for the mailing list. That's another great way to support and stay informed. And here I go. This song was a last-minute addition to the new record. We're all looking for something that the world may not give. We go through the motions, waiting to live. Every single day isn't gonna be a battle. Every single day isn't gonna be a storm. Better hold on tightly to the saddle, or you're gonna get thrown. All moved by the money. We've got none left to give. The devil's got you thinking he's got time in a sieve. But every single day isn't gonna be a battle. Every single day isn't gonna be a storm. Better hold on tightly to the saddle, or you're gonna get thrown. And I believe God could be a mother. I don't think love's so hard to do. You can look deeper than the Father. Love can be cruel, but it don't have to. You lost the motion. You're stuck in your ruts. Everybody else is moving forward, but you ain't got the guts. No, every single day isn't gonna be a battle, and every single day doesn't have to be a storm. Better hold on tightly to the saddle, or you're gonna get thrown. And I believe God could be a mother. I don't think love's so hard to do. You can look deeper than a father. Love can be cruel, but it don't have to be cruel. Thank you. Rose, I do have Venmo. I do. It's Grace Morrison Music. And I can put that in the comments too. Thank you, thank you. Oh, man. Kenneth, thank you. And Tina, I'm so glad you're still here. Tina, when I talk about the family house with my great-grandmother's piano with it, I bet you know exactly what I'm talking about. Oh, wow. Well, listen, I hope everybody has a really, really fabulous week. And, you know, I'm going to be trying to not be anxious about traveling places all by myself because I'm a grown woman and I can do it. I can do it. And I'm going to watch Bridgerton and be happy about it. And again, you know, if you're interested in my travels and upcoming music or anything, you can sign up for the mailing list. I've worked really hard on building that thing. And I will be back here next Monday night with Jana Poca, a really, really awesome songwriter, cool person, from Austin, Texas. So I bet Ken knows Jana. And I can't wait to share her with you all next week. Gosh, I feel like I have so many things to say to you, but I've been talking at you for an hour and a half. Oh, that's what it was. If anybody has any totally off the wall cover song ideas for me, please comment or private message them. I'm talking about like anywhere from Coolio to Bonnie Tyler to Rob Zombie, anything, like something that's a song that you love that you can't quite picture me singing. I want to try and do it. And Tina, oh my gosh, thank you for a beautiful night. I'm so glad you're here. So give me your song requests. And if you're interested, join me on Patreon or contribute to the tip jar. Look at me and my dance moves here. And also go watch this week's Saturday Night Live. Last week's Saturday Night Live. And tell me what you think, because I think it was like the funniest episode in a hot minute. It was so good. And yeah, I look forward to seeing you next Monday. And, ooh, I don't know Crosby, Stills, and Nash's Southern Cross, but I guess I'm going to listen to it tomorrow. You know, and I'm going to go right now put my son to bed, and I'll try to put on ambient sound ocean waves for him, and I'm sure that the moment I leave the bedroom, he's going to put on the Addams Family theme song on a 12-hour loop, because that's what he likes to listen to when he sleeps. Weird? Maybe, but he's my child, so not a huge surprise. Have a great night, everybody. Thanks for hanging out.